All right, so here is the dilemma. We measured your shoulder to elbow in centimeters. Here's the class data. We'll get your heights here in a minute, but anthropologist finds a fossilized humerus bone. The humerus bone is between your shoulder and your elbow, this bone right here. The humerus bone, we talked about that. The one they found is 24 centimeters. Estimate the height of this ancient human. So we are going to use this data to make an estimate on how tall this human was based on our class. So I'm going to ask for your height in inches here. So again, if you are 5'11", let's say you take 5 times 12 to get inches and then add 11. So hopefully you remember the order that we went here, so our data will be accurate. Whoever the first one is, height in inches, please. Height in inches, please. 2. 2.
You're probably the same height as well. Yeah, that's not tall.
Next one.
I don't know.
4th. Next one. Who was 5? Who was 5? 6? 7?
73.
8?
65.
9?
64, maybe, pretty short.
Last one. Okay, put those into Desmos table X1, Y1.
Can you move this way?
Which way?
The glare. So the glare isn't. Yeah, that's good.
Georgia, Desmos, go.
Just me?
Oh, I did tell the whole class.
Could you zoom that in a little bit?
Is that 34?
I was wondering the same thing.
I did go to the nearest centimeter. Some of you went to the nearest half of an inch, which is fine. So whatever we have in the table will need to be what is written down.
Wait, did you say the person had like 24? He's short.
That's
An ancient old man. Sure, just stop.
Obviously, every class's data will be a little different. I would like the equation if you have it.
Y1 building.
I would like the equation if you have it, please.
Oh, I thought.
Y1 and like oh.
Y equals 1.09 plus 30.30.
Plus what?
30.30.
That's correct.
And the R value?
0.75.
No, 0.76.
So I would say moderate data here. It means we're pretty scattered. Now we did do ladies and guys together. And obviously everybody grows at a little different pace. So we are going to use that data now to figure out how tall this person was, again, just based on our data. So type in x equals 24 and see where it meets up with our line.
He was 56.5.
Anybody confirm that? Yes? So that means about 5'6.5" tall.
Then his elbows are
No,
really
that's not
short.
right.
Yeah, that's not
4
right.
foot. So 4 foot would be 48, that'd be 8.5 inches tall. So almost 4'9".
His dog.
So a smaller person, I mean, could even be a younger child, younger than you. We don't have much information. There, all right, the second set we are going to look at. And I'm gonna have you answer the first one before we look at the data I ran off this morning. It says, before researching data, do you think the number of penalties teams get is correlated to number of wins? Well, I did NFL. I just chose my favorite football.
Vikings team?
Well, it says by team, so we're gonna look at every team.
In the
This-
NFL?
Yep, and decide which ones we wanna analyze.
Oh, okay.
So do you think the number of penalties and number of wins is related? That's your first question, yes or no for number one. Holding, doing something that causes a foul is what a penalty is.
So it's bad?
Bad. But it does happen. It's like a foul in a basketball game. That would be considered a penalty.
Oh, that's not.
Do you think it's a positive or negative relationship? Do you think it is weak or strong? So it's asking you 3 yes or no questions before we even look at the data. So please answer that in your opinion.
Is there like a certain number of each player can get penalties?
No.
And they're out of the game or what?
If you do something really illegal, they'll just kick you out.
So how bad are penalties? Really bad? Like, do they affect a lot?
They move the ball quite a bit. Like if you get holding that's 10 yards back, which is a pretty big deal.
So the other team gets the ball then? I think that's the
Other team doesn't get the ball, it just moves the ball forward or back.
So it'd be,
So you got longer to go.
Would it be a negative relationship?
That's what it's asking you.
Yes.
Negative means the more penalties, the less wins you will have. The fewer penalties means the more wins you have. That's what a negative relationship would be. Strong relationship means it's gonna be pretty consistent, and weak would be it's pretty scattered. Those are the 3 questions it's asking. Jordan, if you need a pencil again, grab one. Just make sure you return it because you've been stealing one a week, or one a day here.
I'm good returning, that's the first one, so.
I don't believe that.
So if you get a penalty that enough does, so just get a point?
No, it doesn't work like that. It just moves the ball.
That's okay.
All right. So we are going to graph these. We want wins as the X. All right, so
No.
wins will be our X value. Penalties will be our Y value. We're gonna let's choose 12 teams. I don't even know how many NFL teams there are, 34?
32.
So let's pick some at the top, some in the middle, and some at the bottom. Let's do 4 of each. Okay. So these are ranked by higher number of penalties. Now some have played a more games, and then it has their wins as well. This is as of today
Does that mean
with last couple of games. So let's choose Denver. 87 penalties,
So, no.
3 wins. So remember, we're doing wins first, so 3 goes first. Dallas, 83 penalties, 8 wins. Arizona, 82 penalties, 4 wins. And 80 penalties, 4 wins. Those are the top 4 most penalized teams
Wait, why isn't the Cowboys more top?
in the league.
Hey, could you flip one?
Because.
Oh, never mind.
It's ranked by the number of penalties. So looking at those, it looks like, remember, they've played 11 games. Most of the time, if you get more penalties, you don't win a lot of games. Well, Dallas would be the exception, it appears. Maybe an outlier there. Okay, let's pick 4 towards the bottom. Least penalized teams in the NFL. So let's start at the bottom. 47 and 5. 5 wins, 47 penalties. 48 penalties and 3 wins. 54 penalties and 9 wins. 55 penalties and 6 wins. We'll throw Minnesota in there just for all our Viking fans. They have 9 wins and 57 penalties.
Can we put the Eagles in there? Because aren't they good?
Can put the Eagles in there. 10 wins and 60 penalties. So let's pick 2 more kind of from the middle here.
Green Bay. Oh, no, they're not. Okay.
Let's do the Panthers.
I can't really see them.
This is the middle. The bottom here is kind of the middle.
Oh.
Do the Dolphins.
No, 'cause
Do the
it-
Dolphins.
It goes like this.
Do the Dolphins.
So how about just Buffalo and Jacksonville? They are pretty much smack in the middle. 8 and 63. And 4 and 63. So just looking at the data before we graph, do you think there's a correlation?
And I'm not sure.
Not sure. See some no's, probably. So we got no's, I can't tell, and yeses.
Kind of not.
Okay, put them in there. Graph it.
It's kind of hard to tell if you don't know how many yards the car ran for.
Well, it's just talking about the number of penalties. I don't care about yards for this question.
How are the Cardinals so bad? You got a good team.
Well, if you don't have the talent, or if you have the talent and you don't play well, I think you look at the coaches and the scheme right now.
Or maybe it's penalties.
They're really not very bad.
Do you want to
Cowboys
play-
have a lot of penalties. Can you coach discipline? Can you coach not making silly mistakes?
Because
The equation,
Sure.
y equals negative 1.4, yeah. 1.4
Even?
x.
No other number after the 4?
well, 4.3977.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it'd round to that. Okay, last number?
And then plus 73.42. And our value is negative 0.25.
All right, so to answer the questions that I had you answer for the first one is your opinion. Do you think it is a positive or negative relationship? Appears to be negative. So penalties go up, wins go down. Not very strong. Okay, I'm guessing your dots were pretty scattered. Okay, so very weak correlation, but there is a little something to that. Penalties and wins. All right, that is just analyzing some data. Questions. Now there is a few more questions today. It is a review of all of them. I believe there's one that talks about residuals that we'll throw out. I just got to find it again. Question 5, page 123. So you can cross that one out. Make sure if it says explain, you do so. If it says all, like number 6, you answer all of them. More than one answer, of course. Explain for number 8. And it does go on to number 10 as well. A couple of them you have to graph. Number 10, you'll use Desmos just like we did a couple times today. And number 4, you'll use Desmos. So we should be really good at using that here by the end. So the rest of the time, go ahead and work. Remember, tomorrow we will go over the homework, warm up and review, test on Friday.